if I flirt with a coworker in the office and that constitutes sexual harassment, I can be fired, but I can take an underage hooker from a cartel I'm investigating and you can't fire me. Is that what we're talking about here?
Actually, Congressman, if you charge the offense, removal is a possibility. If you charge something less, conduct unbecoming or poor judgment, you don't charge what actually occurred, that's when the ability to discipline is limited. And that's the concern we found, as you know, in our report.
Thank you.
Thank the gentleman.
I find that stunning. Let me ask you this. Did the agents know that the cartels were providing the prostitutes?
What we found, Congressman, from looking in the file was that they should have known, given they're trained law enforcement agents, and they were dealing with corrupt law enforcement, local law enforcement, that was providing them with the prostitutes as well as the various gifts.
Were they supposed to be investigating these cartels?
They were.
So they are receiving prostitutes from cartels that they are supposed to be investigating. And she can't fire those agents. You agree with her? She can't fire them?
I think as a matter of Title V, she can't directly intervene and fire them. I do think one of the concerns we outline in the report as to DEA and the other 3 agencies is how they adjudicate these cases. They undercharge them in some instances. And so at DEA, for example, sexual harassment, if you're charged with that, there's only one punishment: removal. But if you're charged with conduct unbecoming or poor judgment, which isn't even actually a category, then you've got a range of penalties.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I don't know what would need to be done, but I, like my friend from South Carolina, find it stunning that you can solicit prostitutes. Administrator Leonhardt, do we know whether any of the prostitutes were underage? Do we know whether any of them were part of any human trafficking rings?
Because the Bogota case happened a decade ago, there were no interviews of prostitutes. On the more recent one, the Cartagena one, it did not identify an age for the prostitute involved.
Mr. Chairman, I would just find it impossible to explain to any reasonable-minded person how an agent cannot be disciplined for soliciting prostitutes from drug cartels that they were ostensibly investigating. I find that stunning.
If the gentleman will yield, if somebody murdered somebody, could you fire him?
If someone murdered someone, there would be criminal charges, and that's how they'd be fired.
But if they were, could you take away their security clearance?
The Office's security programs can review security clearances and take their clearances, just as they did with the 3 agents in the Cartagena incident.
Gentleman from South Carolina.